Michael Florence.
Michael Florence is probably one of the most underrated people that were on our defensive team because he was probably one of the strongest that graduated with us, and he was too busy raping the opponent that he was lined up against at the time, where you couldn't see him in the play, where he couldn't get to the ball. But he gave 110% as well. It's just that he was in a bad position because we needed him in a position, and he played it, and he didn't cry about it. He didn't say anything. So I have to give my hats off to him. He did a great job at the position he played.
Joel Rodriguez.
Joel Rodriguez was another lineman that he was smart. He was fast. He was the leader on the line team because he was the one that when we were freshmen to seniors, he led that line. And when I had a problem or if I didn't understand something that was going on the line, I could go to him and ask him, and he'd pretty much tell me what was going on if it was on his side. And if it wasn't on his side, he'd probably go to that side, switch, and then help out that side as well.
Austin Malave.
Austin Malave didn't also get because of his size, but he was also he had a lot of heart. He also was in the one that caught the ball a lot on our team. I did throw the ball a lot to Austin as well, and the thing is, he probably should have got the ball thrown to him a lot more as well. So the thing is, Austin he was a great wide receiver. He blocked well. He did his job, and he didn't do it complaining either.
Okay. One big question about the best player in Central history, and your name has been thrown in that mix. Any position. Give me your answer. Who you feel the best player ever? Is it Marcus Reeves?
I don't feel it would be Marcus Reeves because I didn't play all the positions all the time like the teams before me. The thing is, they played both ways. They were conditioned to play both ways, where I was only conditioned to play, offense and a little bit of defense. It was times that some players didn't come off the field, and like Willie Collins, Jahi Garrett, Aaron Smith, T.C. Wilson was one of them. He played on the line and then also played on the defensive line. There's names like that need to be thrown in the mix as well. I can't say my name because I didn't play both aspects of the game.
So who do you consider the best player ever?
If I was to go in the trenches and say that one that came out of there and did the best at the position that they played, I'd probably say T.C. Wilson because he played both sides of the ball.
Now you also play basketball, so real quick I want to get your starting five, EC basketball Central history, and then who you consider the best player in EC. So let's start off at point guard.
I would have to say Coop.
Rubber battle.
Yes. I felt if he's still here today, he could probably play any of these young players. I got a chance to play with him when out on the streets. He's a commander of his team because when he gets the ball, he's aggressive with it. If he sees the open person, he got it to him. So I'd have to give it to him.
Shooting guard.
During that time, I would have to, because I didn't come back home and watch a lot of the younger kids play, but at the time, I would say Ernest Morris.
Trey. Okay.
Because he probably had one of the highest shooting percentages at the time, but I can only go by what you're asking me and what I've seen.
Small forward.
Small forward is one of those things because we had so many people come through there at the time. Kuzabi Powell was one. But the thing is, they all alternated at positions. You can't tell who was there at the time because you got Willie Puckett. You got you can throw Ezell Moore into the mix. You can you can throw
Chris Woods
into the mix because the thing is, everybody alternated at their positions at the time, and then a lot of the things is a lot of the people didn't understand that a lot of the older players, when they alternated like that, they went into an offense that worked for them. And
so
I would have to say for small forward, Kuzabi Powell. And the thing is, like I said, because if they're switching positions, then Dante Williams was a part of that mix as well because he went from playing sometimes center to sometimes power forward to sometimes even small forward. So right now, more aggressively, I would have to say Kuzabi Powell at the time. But as a better shooter, I would have to say Dante Williams. But you're talking about the small forward position.
Power forward.
Power forward, I'd have to give it to Willie Puckett because I'd have to say the man down in the paint was probably about 80%. But the thing is, as he got older, and I saw that he was able to shoot from the outside, and he was a force to be reckoned with in the inside.
Center.
Center, I'm gonna have to give it to Carlton Baker for him being as long and lanky as he was. He was very dominant in the position because once he got the ball down there, if you weren't fouling him, you were pretty much getting dunked on.
So who you consider the best? You had one player to pick in basketball after you named your starting five. Who would you go pay to watch?
Cool. I'd pay money. Out my pocket now, what little I have, I'd go see him.
Okay. You was one of the few athletes who had the opportunity of spending more time with head coach Richards. Give us your relationship and your feelings on his coaching style.
When it comes to coaching, I would say that he's a bully because he wants it his way. And when he doesn't have it his way, he's going to turn around. He's going to get it his way. I won't take nothing from the man because he taught me what I needed to learn at the time. And there are different aspects that I wish he would have probably brushed me up on. But at the same time, he taught me what I need to do to get on the field and perform my job. And he didn't have time, I wouldn't say time, but he didn't have the time to teach me the other aspects of the game because I didn't need to learn that. But at the same time, I've coached against him and I've coached with him. And I will say this, Coach Richards is very arrogant. And that's probably a good thing to be having the coach's level because you're supposed to have a certain cockiness to you. So that's about all I can say on Coach Richards.
But you and his personal relationship.
You know what? It was one of those situations of there are coaches that are teachers, there are coaches that are father figures, and there are coaches that are just out there for their paycheck. And you need to learn which type of coach Coach Richards is. Coach Richards is one of those that he cares for his players, but at the same time there are some ones that he didn't need to care for. I was one of them. He was a teacher to me because he taught me the game. And he'll probably tell you today that I didn't speak to him much. And it was nothing that I had something personal against the man, but he was teaching me the game of football, and that was our relationship through it. And he was cool to me. He was a great guy and all to me, but I didn't have a problem with him. But like I said, he was a teacher to me, and that was the extent of our relationship at the time. And if I saw him on the street and if he needed some help, I'd help him out. But that I would have to thank him at the same time because he's the one who had opened up my eyes to the game of football.
What kind of advice can you give an athlete who may one day be in your position, didn't really want to play quarterback in high school but ended up being an all-state quarterback, played basketball with great basketball players, was a all-state track, go off to college, still wasn't happy, and just your whole situation? What kind of advice can you give them to help them progress?
As I've been going through the interview, I've been trying to say the aspects of the recruiting, the things of it's all about learning. When you love a game, learn as much about it as you can, even positions that you don't play, because when you understand their position, it helps you better because you can look at them and read what they're doing a whole lot better. You can learn that, okay, he's got him sealed. I can bounce it to the outside. He's straddling him. I can dance in the hole, or break off either way. Or if he's got him sealed, pushing him to the outside. As a tailback, you don't want to keep running to the outside, to that side. You want to cut it up and go up the middle. You have to learn as much about the game as possible. And once you learn as much about the game as possible, work on your game, bettering your game. If you want to mimic your game off someone else, do that. Then once you get to that point where you think you have gotten it to his expectations, make it better. Make it to your game. so that way you can surpass that person that you have looked up to, because that is what you want to do. You want to be better than the person that taught you the game. When you're being recruited, recruit them back. A lot of the coaches don't tell you, okay, it's a good school. No, get online. Everything's online nowadays. You can go back and see how many times they threw the ball, how many times they rushed the ball, what type of season they had. Did they play opponents that they thought they were scheduled to beat? Did they lose games and then think, you hear about them being in the bars, or you can go look up the majors, because if they don't have the major that you want, why even go to that school? Why even be interested in the school? And learn that schools use you. And it sounds funny, but everybody who's played the game understands it so well. You are nothing but a piece of meat. When you go there, you're a stranger to everyone. All they know is you play football. They don't know what's up there. And what you realize is that you got to go there and fill that up with as much as they're willing to give you, because they are giving you something for free, and something that they can't take back from you, your education. Because once you get your education, you can go do anything you want. You can, once you're done, living out the dream, because it's every child's dream to do what they want to do and go to the next level. Everybody ever wants to be an NBA player. Everybody wants to be an NFL player. But at the same time, not everybody gets to make that dream. All these colleges got all these teams, all these people, but not everybody goes pro. So you got to have a backup plan. And I don't care if you say football is your backup plan. You have to have a backup plan beyond that, because your body can't take the punishment day in, day out. God may say you're not going to be here the next day, but you got to fill your mind with that knowledge, is knowing that you did the best of your ability. You have your backup plan, because God may, you might blow a knee. You may not ever be able to play a game. You might, get hit so hard you may not be able to walk. But if you got your mindset to be strong, you can conquer anything.
What is Marcus Reeves currently doing now?
Currently now, I'm a correctional officer. So I deal with knuckleheads all the time, and pretty much I'm in a rough atmosphere, just as rough as football. So the thing is, it's a job, and the thing is, currently right now it's paying the bills, and like I use the job just as much as it uses me. I put into it what I need to learn from it, because the thing is, you need to learn your job. You need to learn about people at that job. So I learn about people. I learn about different things, different aspects of what I'm supposed to do to protect myself, protect the people that I'm supposed to watch.
What is one motto that Marcus Reeves live by?
It's another day here. When somebody asks me, how you doing, and I just say it's another day here. I'm grateful for the day. Don't get me wrong, but it's another day here. So I go through the day.
Marcus, I want to thank you, man, for being on the website, being on this interview, man. You're my brother. Got much love for you, and pretty soon we'll do a round table. Try to get all the quarterbacks from different areas together and just let you guys talk it out. So I want to thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. This is Athlete Lives Network. Once an athlete, always athlete. Thank you for watching Athlete Lives Network exclusive interviews. We will have more exciting interviews to come as we journey across the state of Indiana to look into the lives of former, present, and future athletes. You can follow us on our website at www.athletelives.com or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/athletelives. Remember, once an athlete, always an athlete.